10 minutes straight and did not get a game. I was like, damn, okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Two Buds and One Podcast. I am your co-host. I am the host. Host, whatever. Detective Jelly with my co-host, Alchem Games. Today we are doing I'm going to be doing a slight thing. Normally I bring up articles and stuff or interesting things that I want to talk to Alchem, but this time I'm switching it up a little bit. This time I'm bringing my own personal experiences to Alchem, and I'm going to complain a bunch. I do this all the time, so Alchem's used to this, but it'll be slightly different because it's very funny. So Alchem,
okay.
I decided to play. I got inspired. Do you know the content creator called Day9?
I'm not familiar.
He is a very old school player. Let me put it this way. I was watching Day9 in early 2010, 2011, 2012 with original with Brood War StarCraft and StarCraft 2. Right? So he's a big StarCraft guy. Did a ton of things. He did Hearthstone. He was doing a boycott of Blizzard a couple of years ago when all that crazy controversy stuff happened. And when Bobby Kotick left Blizzard, he did a celebration where he was once again streaming and making content on Blizzard games. One game he decided to play was Heroes of the Storm. And I was like, you know what? After watching a bit of it, I was like, you know what? Alchem, I miss Heroes of the Storm. I miss it. I'm going to reinstall this game and play it. So this is very funny because originally we're going to have this episode on Sunday, but we had a delay. So I downloaded Here's the Storm Saturday night, right?
Oh, you poor bastard.
I queued for 10 minutes straight and did not get a game. I was like, damn, okay. I'm going to unqueue for quick play and queue for ARAM, which if you don't know, is all random, all mid, and this is the casual mode of the casuals. Yeah. And everyone, I looked it up. I was like looking on forums. I'm like, I know this game still has an active player base. Like, I'm gonna joke that it's a dead game because I literally couldn't find a game, but I know it's active.
Okay, I was about to ask
I literally
did you
know.
Eventually find one?
I literally know that there's an active player base because I literally was watching Day9 play the game as I couldn't find a game. So.
Oh my!
I queue for ARAM mode, Alchem, and this is like the casual mode of the casual modes. And I queue for another 10 minutes and did not find a game. And then I uninstalled the game. And then on Sunday when we realized we couldn't do the podcast together and we're like, damn, okay, we'll reschedule and all that type of stuff.
You didn't.
I was like, all right, you know what? Maybe I was too fast. Maybe it was too soon. I'm gonna reinstall the game because you know what? Maybe I was too soon. All right. I'm like, okay. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to queue as a support. Right? Because before I was queuing as the characters that I liked playing before, and this was before I was really. So I'm gonna queue as support. Right. A minute passes. I'm like, okay, it's whatever. And then I got a game on Sunday. I was like, okay. There we go. And then I remember something, Alchem. This is a MOBA game, and I haven't played a MOBA game in a very long time. And I'm playing support, which is, it's not the easiest role to play into right away. So I do awful, right? I play really poorly, and I don't remember a lot of Heroes of the Storm stuff, so I'm kind of reading tooltips, remembering stuff.
Oh my god, you're actually
and I had the most toxic teammates I have ever had that I remember in a MOBA, Alchem. These people were not happy with anyone on our team. It wasn't
word?
No, they did not say the game. I have the language filter.
That's so toxic.
I don't have I have the language filter on, so there were many words that I did not know what they were typing.
Oh. Okay.
And I was
like a slur.
It was just a lot of asterisks and stars and stuff, and we lost that game, which was unfortunate. And then I realized I could turn off text chat, Alchem, and then I turned off text chat, And then I decided to play, instead of playing support, I play mostly tank heroes, because one of the biggest problems right now that I have is that I'm really bad at like map knowledge, because like I just don't know the maps really well. So I get caught and die all the time. So my strategy is, okay, well, what if I just have more health? You know, what if I just have more health? And now I'm doing fine. Because ever since that first Sunday, Alchem, I don't know what was wrong on that Sunday night, but now I get games within like a minute or two. Like I have no problem queuing at any time, which is weird. I don't know why Sunday night specifically was like no games, but I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Could be since you haven't played in forever, the matchmaking didn't know where to place you.
Yeah,
So
it was one thing I was probably struggling. I was also playing very popular heroes, and you can't have duplicate heroes on the same team. So I think that's another thing that might have been happening. So that was an interesting experience. And honestly, other than the funny enough of like, oh my god, it's a dead game, I literally can't find a game. I've queued for 20 minutes in total in both game modes. And I'm never playing ranked. I'm never playing ranked. I don't care enough about this game to play ranked. But have you ever played, did you play Heroes of the Storm, Malcolm?
Oh no, thankfully I was one of the people who never had brain rot and played that game.
Honestly, it's very fun. I enjoy it. There are some fun there are some decisions in the game that I find very frustrating. You know, in regular like League of Legends and stuff, you have a level. There's a team level in Heroes of the Storm instead of a level, of an individual level. So everyone's contributing to the same level, and everyone levels up as a team. Which when you think about it sounds fine. The problem is that like like the game can snowball so hard if you start winning, because like you can like when I mean another problem is that because of the way the leveling system works, you can never really get much higher level than the other team, because everyone has 5 people contributing to experience. Like unless someone is literally hard trolling, it's really hard to get an experience advantage. So another problem is like there's also no last hitting in the game, and there's no like
what do you mean by last hitting?
Like, you know, when you get a last hit in League, you get gold.
Oh, okay.
Like there is no gold in the game. Instead, at certain levels, you get talents, and you can put your talents. It's like a skill tree basically. You can select a talent, basically.
Okay.
Which is actually I like that system, but I don't like I think the problem is that it's very hard to carry in the game. Like skill expression.
Is that necessarily an issue?
Well, it basically means the only way to be good at Heroes of the Storm is to team fight. And when you're solo queuing, that means you have to, with solo queuing and saying, okay, the only way to be good at this game is to know how to team fight. How do you team fight well with random teammates every game? Like, it's a very,
at that point you don't have any control over there, because
it's very difficult. So like it's hard to have skill expression, you know what I mean? Like you can't hard carry 1v9 like you could in League or Dota, you know?
Right. Okay. So now I get it now.
So like it can be very frustrating in that way. Luckily for me, I don't really care about winning or losing, so it's like it's not that big of a deal. I just want to have some fun. And I have this common problem of the game where it's like that's my biggest gripe of the game. Everything else I like about it. If everyone had individual levels, I think honestly, Heroes of the Storm would be my favorite MOBA. Because I don't have to learn about item builds.
You're serious?
Yeah, I don't have to learn item builds. I don't have to learn like. And honestly, I'm just gonna say it. I'm a Blizzard fanboy. I'm a StarCraft fanboy. All the StarCraft heroes make me giggle. Because they all their lines they say, I'm like, heh, he said the line. It's just like I can't help it, man. Did you ever play StarCraft? I can't remember if you ever have.
I played only a little bit, but not enough to actually like get really into it.
Do you remember the voice line of the? Do you remember the Firebat unit? The one with it's the Terran unit that has the flamethrower.
Sadly, no.
Okay. So in one of the games, when you right click. And you know when you do move commands on units, they say lines, they have lines. one of the Firebat's lines is when he's getting attacked is my goose is getting cooked. Because he's a firebat, you know, he breathes fires. Everything's a fire pun, right? The hero in here is the storm.
I get it.
The hero in here is the storm. Says my goose is getting cooked when he does a huge amount. When you just barely live. His line is my goose was almost cooked, and you have no idea how many times I giggle every time he says that, Alchem. Like, it is hilarious in my opinion, because it's just a throwback, and the game is filled with all of those from all of the characters from every game. And it's just like one of those things where like it makes me it's also one of those things, Alchem, where I can get back, just like Overwatch, where this game makes me sad as well, because it was
okay. I was about to be like, there is going to be that mellow,
because because, well, I don't know if you know this, Alchem. I mean, I'm sure you've assumed it, considering how I talked about queuing for 20 minutes and getting a game. The game's been in maintenance mode since 2022, I think, or 2021. And what maintenance mode? What do you mean by maintenance mode? What Blizzard maintenance mode means is there is no longer any content being developed for the game other than like balance patch. Like, there's still balance patches, because the people that are working on the game can still tweak numbers and like do data stuff, but there's no content actively being developed.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I didn't understand. But
for instance, Overwatch 1. During the last 3 years of its during its last 3 years before Overwatch 2 came out, was technically in maintenance mode, because it was just balance patches, which is what Blizzard maintenance mode is. Like, so all the StarCraft
feeling that you're referring to, though, like the one where you have a game that, I mean, nowadays maybe it's just gone, it's lost its luster. The game just stuff happened, no one plays it anymore. But you go back, you get that call to nostalgia, and you play it again, and you remember the funny lines, you remember the funny the scenes, the story, or an iconic moment in the entire campaign, series, storyline, whatever. And you're like, yeah, this is why I love this shit. This is why this is awesome.
I mean, I go back and play the StarCraft campaigns all the time. I don't play the multiplayer StarCraft anymore because it's too much for me. It's just too much. So I can't handle the StarCraft multiplayer anymore. The only multiplayer of newer RTS games maybe, but the old ones, it's too much. Brood War is too old in my opinion for me to play, because there's just so much stuff that annoys me in Brood War that they fixed over the years in RTS games. That obviously in Brood War, it was released in 1999, I think. Maybe it was 2000. I don't know. The Brood War expansion, it was very old. So the stuff they fixed is still there. Like, pathing for units is just actually broken. But, like, it's part of the charm, you know? It's one of those things where it's like, oh, yeah, it's a very old game. There's a lot of stuff that just doesn't work, technically. But it's Brood War is one of those things where it's actually a broken mess in terms of things. But because everything is broken, it's very balanced.
Yeah.
And StarCraft 2 is just way too fast. And so in StarCraft 2 multiplayer, you're expected to have like 3 full bases by like 3 minutes in the game. And I'm confused.
It's okay. It's okay. Your reflexes aren't what they used to be. That's all.
Yeah, that's not true. This isn't even not an old thing. It's just it's not even me being old thing. This is just I don't understand. Like, I don't like the pace. I don't like the pace of the game anymore. Because it's a thing. Because like I play Valorant and my reflexes are fine.
It's okay.
Arguably, my reflexes are better than you. But then again, I'm younger than you, so I guess that does.
Get me in a fighting game and we'll talk.
Hey, being good and having good I can press that button when you tell me to press that button. Being good and having good reflexes are a completely different thing. I'm just saying.
You know what? No. You know what? I am going to. Where's that reflex test website?
Reflex test website? Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it's called. Reflex.
It's just a reflex tester tool. Oh yeah, human benchmark. Okay.
Human benchmark.
I just normally type in reflex tester.
Humanbenchmark.com.
Yeah. Yeah, and then just click that. It is literally just a small little thing that tests your reflex.
When you see the green.
You know, I'm gonna embarrass myself. I don't care, but
okay, I got one. How do you want me to do? 5? Let's do 5 and whatever your best one is.
Let's do 5. Yeah, let's do 5. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm doing my last one now.
Okay, hold on. Because I fucked up the first one because I accidentally clicked on the site, so let me do it again.
Yeah. Okay, I got my best score.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. All right, what's your best score?
My best was 252.
Let's fucking go. My best was 223 and my average is 234.
Nice.
I'm not bad, I swear. I'm good. It's just in FPS games I'm like kind of shit, okay?
Well, the problem with FPS games with you is you have no idea what you're doing with the mouse.
I don't know. I don't know. More like situational awareness. I don't know what to do with the mouse, so just like controller better. Even though I know, honestly.
I mean, it depends on the game.
Better off with the mouse.
To be fair, Alchem, it depends on the game. Like for games like Halo, Apex Legends, and
I'd say Gears.
Well, Gears isn't a first-person shooter.
Okay, yeah, you're right. When you're right, you're right.
Like,
but yeah,
most people play on controller for like when players say they like good players are on controller for Apex Legends and Halo. And COD. Like the pro scene in COD, most of the people are on controller. The only games that I would say are like at least Counter-Strike and Valorant are the two games that are like PC controls is the best way to go.
PC is far better. Yeah, you can have far more precision. You can have far more accuracy. You can turn it on a dime. Yeah, which even I understand. There's.
But that's also because like in games like Apex Legend and Halo and COD, like aiming isn't like it's a skill in the game. Don't get me wrong, but like movement and map knowledge and like. And like game sense is a big deal. And in Counter-Strike, you can, and especially in Counter-Strike, Valorant doesn't have this as much because the Valorant aiming is technically easier than Counter-Strike. But in Counter-Strike, you can be all aim, no brain and go pretty far. Yeah. But
if you can track, like for Apex, if you can track decently, that's good. As long as you can move while you're doing it, then you're better.
Yeah. For Apex, I would say a lot of it is decision making. Like putting yourself in a good position to win the game is a big deal in Apex. Yeah. But that's also like a battle. That's also like a battle royale thing. That's also like a battle royale thing because it's different genres technically. But in Counter-Strike, you can do an all aim, no brain. You can get pretty far with that. Honestly, like I don't think
survival style, so I end up getting like top 10 in normal matches. Like if I'm teamed up with people who just want to. Let's fight people.
I mean, whenever we play whenever we play battle royale games, we have that thing where I'm just like, I heard a gunshot, I'm going that direction.
Gunshots?
You can't stop. Exactly. It's like I can't help it. It's like when I play Rocket League, I say ball, and I just go towards it. Like I can't help it.
We need to build up ammo, but we have guns. We have bullets. No, bullets.
Our ammo is going to begin by their bodies. We will pick up the ammo from their bodies.
I need to get back into it. I need to get back to like the practice of it. But
honestly, I don't really like battle royales anymore. I think I'm over it.
It's like the cornerstone of FPS games now.
Not really, honestly. I mean, like the most popular one, sure, but like
I still miss death matches. I still miss like the team versus team death matches on a small little thing. Actually,
I mean the problem is.
Isn't COD still COD 2 still around, so I can play that. I can actually do that.
I was gonna say, other than COD, like there's still the thing with the popular, like the really popular, crazy popular FPSs are all battle royales, but like going to mode. What the fuck? Yeah, going to the mid tier, like going to like the mid tier in terms of popularity FPSs, there's a ton of different ones.
I'll go play a Quake style game now.
There is a Quake. Hey, remember? Don't you remember that crypto game?
Oh God! Shut up.
The fake. No. The one that stole the game.
Yeah, that stole the game from the other one. Yeah, now I remember. Sorry, you said crypto.
Hey, I told you I played that game, the real one, and it was a pretty good game. It was basically Quake 3 Arena but modernized. It was fun.
All
right. Sorry,
where were we before
I gave you PTSD. No, yeah, you did. Me talking about Heroes of the Storm. I mean, honestly, that's basically it. I enjoy it, and it's the game I play when I'm like, you know what, I'm going to play a game right now, and I still enjoy it. I don't know how long I'll enjoy it. Because I mean, it's a MOBA game.
Honestly, I really think for at least our generation, we're all just gonna be a bunch of old ass gamers by the end of it. I mean, granted, for any of those who like just only game and nothing else, I'm pretty sure it'll lead to some like physical troubles in the future. But you know, a lot of us will probably be old ass gamers.
I don't see myself ever stopping.
Yeah, that's
I don't know. I'm not honestly. I don't really. The back in my day stuff, I don't agree with a lot of games. I think games nowadays are much better than they used to be. But that's
we're just gonna have a bunch of geriatric gooners.
Yeah, of course.
Booners.
That's pretty much guaranteed.
Oh my God! Yes, I am coining that for booners is just a combination of a boomer / gooner. What's gonna happen? They're gonna have a bunch of really old gooners now.
Yeah, I mean, there was this one game that I played recently in Alpha Alchem. It was called Wild Assault, and it's Battlefield but furry.
Oh my God! I just realized something. I could actually do that as I'm like someone who was around during the old arcade era. Back in my day, we used to play games on a quarter. Nowadays, I gotta pay $70 for a season pass.
I hope you don't.
Oh my God, it's true.
I hope you don't pay $70 for a season pass. You're getting ripped off then.
I mean, I used to back in my day. I used to go to the old swimming arcade hole, and then I used to play my games for a quarter.
Honestly, I never went to the arcades.
The only reason I ever went to an arcade was when I went to the beach, because the beach had a really cool arcade. And at night, I mean, I'm not gonna go swimming at night at the beach.
Wow, not adventurous.
No, more like they had guards all over the place, so they actually kept an eye out. So
you weren't allowed
to. We were on one of those like very very like touristy beaches.
Okay.
So late at night, there wasn't really much to do out on the beach. Everyone was more focused on the boardwalk because that's where you saw all the cool attractions and stuff.
Yeah, and everyone's probably getting hammered, so they probably don't want people to get in the water.
Yeah.
They don't want people to go in the water.
There was a lot of cool stuff there, though. The arcades, the haunted houses, the fun houses. There was a weird fun house with, like, there was a hall of farts. I just remember that. Sorry, just reminiscing that stuff.
Yeah, that's no problem. You know, I said I never went to okay, this is a question, Alchem. Do you count going to Chuck E. Cheese as going to an arcade? I don't think I do. Is it an arcade?
Yes.
Because I went to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid a bunch because we had birthday parties there.
And you did. You definitely did go to an arcade.
Actually, you know what the funny thing is? That's where I found out that the Star Wars arcade game exists, and I hogged that machine like no. I was that kid, guys.
I mean,
I was on that machine all the time. And you know what it is, Alchem? Sorry, I keep interrupting you, but I just remembered the one thing that was at the Chuck E. Cheese arcade, the Chuck E. Cheese that we had was insane because every time I've told people this, it had the Simpsons arcade game.
Lucky bastard! We only had the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, we had this. It had the Simpsons arcade game, and then apparently that I learned later, which was insanely rare to have.
It is so rare to have.
It had the Simpsons arcade game in it.
Yeah.
And I played it all the time.
I knew around here that had it, and it was so much fun. See, I like the two arcade games that I always did love was the Simpsons arcade one and the Ninja Turtles one. And the one Chuck E. Cheese one that we had
Yeah.
did have one of my favorite games. It was this old it was one of those railgun shooters or the ones where you're just going down a path. And
yeah.
It was a Jurassic Park one.
Oh yeah,
and I fucking loved that one so much.
I played a lot of it was the Sega one, the one where you're a police officer.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called now.
Virtual Cop?
Maybe it's the one where it had where you can step on the paddle.
Yeah,
you stepped on the
I know which
paddle.
one you're talking about. It's maybe Time Crisis, but I think there was another one.
There is a couple. That's the one I played the most of.
I think it might be Virtual Cop.
I think it was Virtual Cop. Virtual Cop, I think it was. Yeah, because it was part of. I'm pretty sure it was that one.
Cool one too.
Because I also have, funny enough, I had a Wii version of that game. I really enjoyed that one too.
I love those. Those were just over the top, super action, and just like you're supposed to be protecting everything and getting the bad guy, but blowing everything around you between you and the bad guy. It doesn't matter. Shoot.
Unfortunately, the last time I went to an arcade was not a good experience.
What happened? Did everyone get drunk and fight?
No, so I went with at the time I went with someone, and she has a young kid, and we were taking him there. He enjoyed it, loved it, and it was great. We're having a good time. So there was a kids section, right, and then there was an adult section of this arcade, right? In the adult section, before I go on, the adult section, I'm not talking like sexual stuff. I'm just talking about violent stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's got the violent stuff. The kids section and the adult section, Alchem, were right beside each other, and there was no no barriers. And do you know what the first game that you could see from the kids section to the adult section?
Mortal Kombat?
No, House of the Dead.
Oh.
And so it was annoying because, like, honestly, for me, like, it wasn't that bad, honestly. But like he's like less than 8. He was like less than 10. So obviously he wants to play the game with the gun, the huge gun, and he wants to play and shoot the zombies and stuff. I'm like, I'm sorry, you can't. You can't. I'm sorry, you're not allowed to. And he was like, oh no. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. And I constantly had to like push him to like, we can't play this game. I'm sorry. And like even if first of all, even if it was okay for him to play it, like honestly, like the problem was that he couldn't play it. He was too short. Like he couldn't reach the gun, and like he couldn't reach it. So like even if we were not talking about like, is it okay for a less like a 7-year-old to play House of the Dead, he was too short to play it anyway. And that was really annoying because I'm like, guys, I'm cool with like the whole kid section and the adult section, though the kid section was full of like basically gambling games, and I don't know if that's I'm like, one of the games was basically slots, and I was like, why is this in the kids section? This is weird. I mean, he enjoyed it, and it was like tokens, like obviously no real money. It was just tokens and all that type of stuff. Though it was a card.
You gotta start them young.
I know, right? And it was weird, and I was like, okay, that's whatever. I mean, that's what arcades are nowadays. It's all gambling games basically, with House of the Dead and like all the shooting games now, because no one makes arcade games anymore.
No.
But that was honestly and funny enough, that place went out of business during the pandemic. It's no longer there's another place that replaced it, but I've never been to the new one.
Yeah, I already got the one that I loved going to got shut down after there was a crackdown on it, because apparently massive drug smuggling in that place. I didn't find out until years later, because I was a little kid, and then when I was older, I always saw that place. I was like, man, this used to be the coolest arcade. They had all the coolest stuff. They had golf. They had a skate rink. They had bumper cars. They had a wall climbing. They had one of the coolest little climbing areas for kids.
They could afford it all because of all the drug money, apparently.
I was like, this is awesome. What happened to it? They even had laser tag. Like, what happened to this place? And then a friend was like, yo, don't you know? Yeah, the place got raided one time because they found out that they were just like smuggling tons and tons of drugs there. I'm like, what the fuck? My childhood ruined. No.
So then you realized all your childhood fun times was fueled by drug smuggling money.
Fueled by drugs. No.
Fueled by drug money. I'll see.
Okay.
This is your opening line now. My childhood was filled with drug money.
No, what the? Yeah, honestly, like finding out that the arcade that I fucking loved, apparently there was just so much just rampant drug usage and selling, and okay.
Oh, you know
Still,
what?
it was a lot of fun. I love that place.
I also technically, so one of the bigger attractions here in Canada is Canada's Wonderland. Right, it's the amusement park / roller coaster rides and stuff, and there's an arcade in there, and I've been there a couple times. I just realized. I'm just remembering now that I told you that I've never been to an arcade. I'm now remembering all the arcades that I've technically been to. It's because I never went to the places that were just arcades. It was like an arcade with another thing, which to be fair makes sense because arcades by themselves basically didn't exist when we were kids. Like they were pretty much gone by the time that happened.
Yeah. I mean, that bubble bursted years ago.
Yeah,
by the
long
time we were
ago.
around.
By the time we were old enough to go to them, and like there is no way that they would exist. Though the one that Canada's Wonderland was a ripoff, though. I'll tell you, that was a. I didn't actually play any of the games because I'm not paying this much money for this amount of credits or tokens or whatever. Like this is crazy, and these prizes suck. I'd rather just go buy one of these prizes. You literally sell them at the gift shop. Okay, well, I don't know how we got from Heroes of the Storm to that, but that was an interesting segue. That was an interesting how we go along that. So there is one more thing, a couple more things, honestly. We'll see if we get to them. But the main thing I'd like to talk to you about is something, once again, is not from an article. Like I said, I'm going a little more, it was personal experiences this time. This time only happened because we didn't do the show once again on Sunday. And then I couldn't do the show on Monday. So, and then the thing I couldn't do the show with on Monday got canceled. So technically I could have done the show on Monday, but I got canceled the day of. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to bother Alchem. We already made plans for Tuesday. It's fine. And so instead I watched the entire Fallout TV show. And I would like to, I don't know how, I will not, I don't know if you want to watch the show or not, but I won't go with spoilers. There's not going to be any spoilers, but I will say that I really enjoyed it. And I would say even if you aren't a Fallout fan, I think you would enjoy it too, because the Fallout, the knowledge of a Fallout player is more like nudge, nudge, heh, type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's not directly in your face. There's a lot of stuff that they explain very well. There's some stuff that I could nitpick from, like, I'm not, like, it's, it definitely feels like it's interesting that they're expanding, because another thing that is interesting, the Fallout show has been said, it is canon. The Fallout show is canon along with the games. So, like, it's a big deal, and there is definitely some interesting things that they either imply or just straight up show that it's like, huh, interesting. And for the most part, I'm okay with it. Though I would say some of the bigger moments, like I would say one of the biggest moments is definitely, unfortunately, lost if you don't know the background of it. It's still a big deal, but like you don't know how crazy of a big deal it is if you don't know the background from the Fallout games, because you don't know the background of the factions. Because the problem is like if you don't know the deep lore of the factions, it's not as a big impact. It's still a decent impact because it's still a big plot point in the show, but like it's an even bigger plot point if you know the history behind it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it was pretty good. Season 2 is already announced, and it's blatant. It's one thing that's very frustrating. So if this is something that frustrates people, then I would suggest waiting. But this is definitely a show that was written with multiple seasons in mind, because things are solved in season 1, but there's definitely still a lot to go through. There's still a lot to... The plot, it doesn't end on a cliffhanger, but it does end on... It's blatantly not done. You know what I mean? Like, the plot has ended, kind of, but like it's blatantly they're gearing up for another series or season. Sorry, say again.
Doesn't it like take place like before the events of Fallout?
No, it takes place 15 years after Fallout New Vegas. We're pretty sure.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
So it's taking place years after. Okay,
it's a lot of time has passed since the games. I think Fallout New Vegas is the closest in terms of the year, and it's 15 years after New Vegas.
Good.
And Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 are different. They're on the East Coast, and the TV show is on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So it's very.
They're very separate in terms.
In terms of time, and also, I mean, one of the biggest things about Fallout is the factions between the coasts are different. So, for instance, this is not a spoiler or anything like that. The Brotherhood of Steel is in the show, obviously. I'm sorry, but if you think that's a spoiler of the show, it's Fallout. Of course, it's the Brotherhood of Steel. The Brotherhood of Steel is in the show. Guys, calm. The thing with the Brotherhood of Steel is that they haven't been unified in many games. So the factions within the Brotherhood of Steel, like they all call themselves the Brotherhood of Steel, but there's different chapters. And this chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel is I think it's actually a very good representation of the Brotherhood of Steel. I think it's very good. It's also very interesting in some ways. I like the action scenes. The action scenes are pretty well done. They're very well done. Once again, it's technically a spoiler, but guys, it's Fallout. The power armor looks really cool. Like of course the power armor is in the show. I'm pretty sure it's literally in episode 1. I'm pretty sure the power armor looks really cool. I like they're kind of going the Fallout. Did you play Fallout 4, Alchem? What Fallout games have you played? I can't remember.
I played Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, and I despise that last one.
Yeah, Fallout 76 is not a good game. But so you remember in Fallout 3 the power armor is basically like basically another armor set. And then Fallout 4, it's like a big the Fallout 4 power armor is really different.
Yeah.
They're going on the Fallout 4 version of the power armor, which I agree with. Because the Fallout 4 version of the power armor is intimidating. It is you are a towering human being with that power armor on. And it shows in the show. Like people with power armor on are difficult targets. And it should be that way. They're not invincible, but like it should be that way. And I think I like it. I like the depiction of the power armor more because in the other games, it's really just another armor set. And I like it that it's like its own thing. I also like in the show that it is very blatant that everyone has weapons, of course, and guns, but like no one's a trained soldier. You know, there's a lot of shooting, like you don't need to be. Yeah. Like there are some trained soldiers, and it's very blatant how better they are than everyone else when they are like an actual trained person.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the show overall. There's some nitpicky stuff that I'm like not entirely sure about. There's one more cool things that they show. They show a bunch of cool characters. I like the show specific characters. I think they all did very well. The main character Lucy is a very well done character. I think she's a great character. I'm very happy that she is a female lead that they don't use the fact that she's female like as a thing, you know? She just is a female and she's the lead, or like she is one of the main characters, you know? Like it's the fact that she's a female isn't like, I guess technically it's a thing at the very beginning, but like she's just another person trying, like they're not like overblowing the fact that, I don't know. I'm glad that she's a very well written character. You know, I was slightly worried when I realized that one of the main characters was going to be a woman. It's like Fallout sometimes doesn't do very good with, like, look, I'll just say it. Video games aren't known for good women representation. You know, like
What do you mean?
they're just not known for it, right? And
Even
I'm
now,
glad.
goddamn.
Yeah, even now, like it's much better now, but like it's still not probably up to snuff. And I'm glad that she's a well written character.
All right, there, Elmo Fraud. Calm down there.
Look. Sometimes I have problems saying words.
Sometimes you gotta catch that wascally wabbit, huh?
I do. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I don't know. I don't want to like spoil the show for anyone who does want to watch it because I know. I mean, I personally don't care about spoilers, but I know a lot of people do, so I won't do that. I will say that I think it's a very good representation of Fallout. I'm interested in where they're going with season 2. I like so far everything that they have represented in the show makes sense, you know?
All right.
Like they do play a little bit with the lore, a little bit. But to be fair, Fallout lore is a little fast and loose to begin with, so there's a lot of hand-wavy stuff in the game, so I think we should give them the benefit of the doubt of... Even in the game, some of this stuff is kind of like, deal with it. I mean, in the original Fallout games, 1 and 2, like, a lot of people say the original Fallout games are, like, so crazy in the lore and so cool. Guys, in the original Fallout games, there's literally aliens. And they worship Elvis. There's also a King Arthur cameo in Fallout 2, I think. He's literally in medieval armor with his band of merry men. There's a lot of jokes in Fallout. So, like, guys, the lore was always fast and loose. Like, it is a serious... Don't get me wrong, there are tons of serious moments, but, like, everyone's having fun still. And the show, it shows. There's still some very fun moments, even with it being very serious sometimes. So I like it. I liked it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
It wasn't bad.
And it's very rare that I watch a show, so it was a monumental thing for me.
I mean, the games
I
were
don't know
bad.
if you yeah, I mean the games are pretty good. Even with people not liking, even with people's love-hate relationship with Fallout 4, I still think the game is fine. And Fallout 76, we just won't talk about it. Unless we try to play it. Every once in a while I want to, but I get depressed every time I think about it.
See, I want to try to play it. I have it now that I can try it again. I'm going to maybe jump into it, but I don't know.
Maybe. Like it will kill my soul slowly if I try to play it again.
Probably will, but hey.
I'm not sure if it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
I'm just just maybe.
Right, it depends. It depends.
So what's next on the docket then? Any cool thing you want to talk about?
Well, now that we're... So there goes my personal experiences. I do have a couple articles that are interesting, in my opinion. One is a follow-up from one of the stories we talked about earlier. I promise it's not about crypto. So do you remember when we were talking about how Warner Brothers sucks?
Yeah.
So, and you remember how some indie and Adult Swim games was getting shut down, and a bunch of indie developers were getting their games taken down, and like one guy was giving it away on his website for free because of this and all that type of stuff.
Oh yeah. So with a lot of the Adult Swim-esque games too.
So a shocking thing happened, Alchem. Warner Brothers is giving up the rights and letting the indie developers just take their games and do their own thing with them. Like, which is really funny. Because like
everything
Warner Brothers has decided not to take its ball and go home with Adult Swim games, instead returning control to the original developers. They are just giving control of the game rights to the developers. So games like Duck Game, they're safe. All the games, Kingsway Remains, all the games that were made through Adult Swim is no longer a thing. Or it kind of is. It is complicated with Adult Swims, but all the indie games are still... The indie game developers own it now.
I see.
which
Oh
is
my God,
very
they
funny
actually-
because
someone
this
has
is
a conscience.
well, it's not even just this outcome. It's also the easiest thing for Warner Brothers to do because it's basically a hand wave of say, okay, we'll give you guys the rights. It's the lowest amount of effort on their part because it actually will take more effort for them to keep the games. So like honestly, this is them just like not caring, like them deciding that this isn't worth it. But it's still really funny that they did it because a lot of companies wouldn't do that because they need the tax write-offs. But yeah, so that's interesting to see. I'm like, honestly, I was just shocked that happened because at this point, I'm just surprised that anything is getting significantly better. On the positive side, to keep going, have you played Control, Alchem?
Control,
made by Remedy, the same guys who made Alan Wake.
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, did you know?
You said Control. I was thinking you were talking about like Control the game mode for a lot of games.
No. So did you know that Remedy, the developers, Remedy Entertainment, that make Alan Wake, did not own Control. They did not own the rights to the Control IP. The Control IP was owned by.
No, don't say it.
It's not. It's not them. It's not them. It's not. What's it called? It's not. Oh God, what's that company that's crashing and burning?
EA?
No.
Ubisoft?
No. The one that bought all those. Remember the ones that one day that I just crippled your soul by telling you, hey, these guys are going bankrupt and they own every like AA developer. The one that owned Gearbox. Oh God, what's their name now? I can't remember. You know what I'm talking about?
Activision?
No. Embracer Group.
Embracer.
It's not them. 505 Games is what owned Control.
Huh.
They owned Control and Control 2. They basically owned everything. But now, like I said, positivity. Remedy bought the exclusive rights to all Control things. So it includes the upcoming sequel that they're making to Control and the co-op spin-off that they're making as well. They bought the rights to the Control IP, basically. The buyout covers the original Control as well as the confirmed sequel and the 4-player co-op mode, or the 4-player co-op spin-off game that they've been working on since 2021. They have announcement notes from Remedy themselves, having acquired the full rights to Control Condor, which is the co-op game, and Control 2. Remedy is now in a position to make the right product and business decisions, focusing on long-term franchise growth for Control. The biggest deal is that Remedy paid, it was a good chunk of change, don't get me wrong, but like, I think, let me look, it was $17 million. Wait.
Jeez.
17 million. Yeah. No, 17 million euros, sorry. For all publishing, distribution, marketing, and other rights. Which was apparently the amount that 505 Games has paid for the development of Control 2 and Condor. Which is interesting. Because apparently Control sales have made a net revenue of 100 million euros for Remedy and 505. So 17 million seems like a pretty good, like it's not a bad deal, I think. At least from my completely unknowledgeable thing. You know?
Yeah. Oh, God damn. All right.
Yeah. And also, this is one of the things where I didn't know that at the time of this one is a couple weeks old. Because I've been holding on this one for a little bit. I didn't even know there was a co-op game being made. And this is how I found out. It's like, oh, I didn't know there was a co-op spin-off game. And that kind of makes sense considering what I know about Control. Because Control is like really a third-person power fantasy game. Like where you basically have magic powers. So like that with with 1 to 4 player co-op makes sense to me, you know?
Yeah, that does.
Honestly, that's something that we could do, probably. If it
round up the boys.
Yeah. If it's not too expensive.
Yeah, that's the only thing stopping us. God damn it! Back in my day.
Because I mean, if it's a full price game, first of all, they have to decide which full price, which is funny, because full price doesn't mean full price anymore because it depends. It's different depending on who you ask. But
Yeah.
honestly, I'm pretty sure the 1 to 4 player co-op game is at best a half price game and or free to play. There's no like actual evidence of that, but I can't imagine them not doing that. They're not dumb, so. Okay, so the next article that I have to talk about is, like I said, now we're just going through all the articles that I've been saving up the past couple weeks because we've been doing a lot of things that since we've been delaying it a couple days. Something has happened that I'm like, okay, I want to talk about this now. One funny thing that happened last month, actually, in April, so I've been holding on this for a while, is that a software dev has become hilariously evil. For a joke, to be fair. In a completely, what's that word for? When you're exaggerating or satirical, in a satirical way.
Where about EA for a second.
Well, he does make fun of EA for a couple of reasons. So he goes and this dev or this software developer goes and makes hilariously nightmarish products for games. So he tweets out, we need to stop running Doom on new things and start putting new things into Doom. For example, today I added microtransactions to the original game. Anytime you pick up an item, the game freezes until you make a payment. and then in replies, he said, EA's on the phone with me.
Yeah, I was about to be like, stop giving them ideas. You're giving me like, it's hilarious, but you're actually giving them ideas.
Yeah.
Because I jokingly said this. We've crossed a threshold where businesses are not being like evil. They're being cartoonishly evil now.
Yeah. I mean, don't you remember that game that was like literally you had to buy the bullets to shoot and stuff?
Yeah. Again, cartoonishly evil now. It's not even a joke anymore. which makes it all the more sadder.
Yep. It's very sad. But when I saw this article, it was very funny to me because it was like, that's funny, but also scary because like the sad part is that I didn't realize it was a joke until after reading. You know, because I was like, oh, it wouldn't surprise me if a company tried something like this, and the fact that it wouldn't surprise me is kind of sad. You know what I mean? But also, to be fair, I'm a little cynical on this. To be fair, a little cynical, only a little bit, though. But yeah, so that was that article. That was just a funny one that I found.
We should being satirical about it instead of being like a lot of companies now who are like, we have new ideas. We're gonna start shoving all this shovelware and all this extra BS that you don't need, extra bloat, and we're gonna put ads into your games too.
Yeah, I mean that one's
everything. We're gonna shove the.
I mean, honestly, Alchem, even though it's funny to see that, I don't see ads ever being implemented in video games because so the reason I don't think ads or like the way
experiences.
Yeah, like I don't think that will ever happen because that would get in the way of the gameplay. And
listen, as a stockholder, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but the problem is that means people won't play your game, and that means no one's giving you money and no one's watching those ads. So how do you sell those ads?
Jelly. If we make it the norm, then no one will give a shit.
No, I don't think they can make it. The reason, Alchem, is I am in the firm camp of I don't see this happening only because when microtransactions get in the way of gameplay, even regular gamers who aren't terminally online don't like that. When it gets in the way, we do know that, Alchem, because it's happened.
I don't know, Davey. Remember DLCs, pay to win, all that stuff.
Pay to win does not interrupt gameplay. But ads, a pop-up ad that would stop you from playing a game, that would stop the gameplay. You know
but
what I
it
mean?
interferes with gameplay because
Yeah,
at that point you're
interferes.
playing against people who basically just dug into their pockets to just get a one up on you.
Yeah, but that's we're talking about two different things here, Alchem. I'm
True,
talking about
but
pay to win is a completely different thing, and honestly, most pay to win stuff doesn't exist. Like pay to win is basically only mobile games right now and Escape from Tarkov.
I just have this feeling that if they can just kind of make it a norm that where people start to accept it little by little,
yes,
then it's the long game, but it's the eventual route that most of these companies are going to try to do.
That is
like
true.
The big publishers.
But it's also been proven to also backfire when gamers hate it so much. Because I mean, loot boxes don't exist basically outside in normal video games.
Loot boxes don't exist because the European laws got involved and told them, "Hey, stop that."
Yeah, but ads will have the same effect. Ads will definitely have the same effect. And to be fair, the loot boxes, it was only like 1 or 2 countries in Europe. To be fair, it wasn't the EU. But it was mostly because they just stopped making money because people hated them so much. Like, honestly, Alchem, what I'm saying is I'm not saying there's going to be a public outcry or like a boycott. I'm just saying if there's an ad in the game, people will just stop playing and stop buying things, which is a big deal for, like I said, stockholders don't care about the game, but they do care about revenue. And if revenue goes down because of the ads, I don't think the cost of selling those ads is going to counter the amount of money that microtransactions make.
I'll counter argue this. Someone's still going to do it because they want to know whether or not that's true. They want to know whether or not the amount of money they lose via people not buying it compared to those who are willing to put up with it and buy it.
I agree.
Still make enough money with the actual advertising that they'll get in from advertising.
Oh yeah, no, I agree that they're going to try Alchem. I'm just saying that I don't think it's going to work because I don't think there's enough people. Like, people get annoyed at ads on YouTube and Twitch, and and people are annoyed at ads about the subscription services now that have the ad tier, which I think is dumb. And so it's just one of those things where I just don't think this is the way. Like, you guys want to make more money, I get it, but I just don't think this is the right way. I think there are easier ways and less intrusive ways, and honestly, better ways to make money in this. Like, I just agree. I just think it's not.
I still think this is the way. At least
I don't think so.
How they're gonna go for it.
I mean, I agree that they're gonna go for it, Alchem. I just don't think it's gonna work.
Is it going to be the thing? Is it going to be the norm? Probably not.
I don't think so. Like, I mean, like, technically,
some companies going to do it.
Oh, of course. EA is the one talking about it. EA is the reason that everyone was talking about it for a while, because EA was talking about adding in-game advertisements. Which, by the way, in-game advertisements already exist. They're just talking about more intrusive ones. Like actual 30-second ads. Like, because product placement already exists in video games and stuff like that. Like, that stuff already exists. There's nothing like that already exists.
Nothing new about that. That's always there.
And honestly, honestly, I don't. I don't care about product placement, but I would care about a 30-second ad stopping me from playing a video game.
Wait, Jelly. Question. You ever watch The Truman Show?
No.
You ever watch that movie? Okay. Then fine. Let me give you how like from 1 to 10, how bad would your immersion be ruined if when you're playing a game and there's a cutscene and the characters are having like a nice dialogue, and then all of a sudden they're like cracking open a cold one, like you just have like a moment of like, oh man, pass me one of those Coca-Colas, man. Those are so good. There's the blatant product placement in the cutscene.
Like 10 being like immersion completely broken, 1 being none.
Yeah,
I would probably say 5 or 6. It depends on the game, to be fair. Like, if it's a story-based game, then I would probably say that's like a 7 or 8. But if it's like like an FPS, or like if it's like a less story-intensive game, then probably a 5 or 6. It's still above 5, no matter what, probably.
I play GTA 6. There's a fucking product placement and a cutscene
I
for
mean,
something.
GTA is covered in those though.
Yeah, but I mean, not in a cutscene. They normally don't do it in a cutscene.
Not in a cutscene.
So I'm just saying, if they just like sneak it into the dialogue, into a cutscene while characters are talking about.
I mean, I don't care about name drop. You know what it is? I don't care about the name drop of the product. I care about if they start talking about it. Like if pass me a Coca-Cola, that stuff is good. If it was just pass me a Coke, I probably wouldn't care. Delicious. Like people speak like that, you know? People speak like that. Like I'm not saying like tweets talk about products like that, you know?
Like pass me a delicious.
I wish I got paid.
D had all the nutrition.
Dude, I wish I got paid every time I said a product name. I'd be so rich. All right, I'm sorry. I have to be right back. So quick, talk to yourself for a moment.
Chat. I'm just thinking, like, again, for those of you who don't know what I was referring to, I'm referencing a scene from a movie called The Truman Show, and what happens is the characters. It all revolves around one person, but every character in the entirety of that place is an actor. And during moments when they're talking with him, and the camera's on them, they like cue them to do an ad or cue them to promote something, and then the character just kind of like how they talk to the main character, like, you seem stressed. Why not have this delicious cup of warm something coffee? Did you know that this guy? And then they just ramble on advertising the product, telling them how good it is and all this other shit. Meanwhile, the main character who has no idea he's even on the show is like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what is going on? And then, commercial over, they have to like try to play it off like they never actually did the ad. And I just feel like, God, they're going to do something like that in the future for games. They're gonna show. I mean, we already have, like Jelly says, game advertising in the background, in the like billboards, and maybe some art, maybe on the TV, maybe some subtle pictures, stuff like that. And that, see, I can understand that. That's fine because it's just in the background. It's not in your face, not shoved in. But I swear, if we don't already get ads like what EA is trying to hint at that they want to do, we're probably going to get it like shoved into the story. And I, for one, am not for it. Everyone play and pay. I pay to play a game for the experience and for the fun, not to get more ads. I'm not buying a show or a game or anything like that. Like say if you buy a DVD for a movie, or you buy like some disc or something to watch a show, you don't want any ads in that. You paid specifically for the fucking show. Like if I buy an anime from a con and I'm playing my anime and I'm watching the damn thing, I don't expect an ad there. I don't expect that. I know that the anime will still have like that moment where they do the ad break, but you get like in Full Metal Alchemist, you get that little title card like Full Metal Alchemist, because of the ads. But I don't expect that, and then actually seeing fucking ads. I'm not buying your guy, but I feel like that slowly is what's going to happen. They're still going to do this. They're going to try to shove it in because they get money. And I was actually going to make that joke, like, since Jelly is right now AFK, Jesus, I was going to make that reference. So, like, they're like, you're playing a game and all of a sudden they pull out a cold one. It's Cerveza Cristal, God. Oh, that would be so bad. I don't remember. Truman Show is a great movie. Don't remember the ad. Don't remember the ads. Yeah, I don't remember. Like, all I remember is when Truman is having that mental breakdown. He's actually starting to put two and two together. That stuff is weird and nothing's right in the world. And he's talking to his wife, and his wife's like, Truman, you're like overthinking things. It's not as bad as it's not what you think. You know what you should do? You should calm down with a delicious piping hot cup of, and then she's promoting some coffee while he's trying to like get him to not think he's in some simulation or something. And it just made it so much worse for him because she's so used to being an actress. But yeah, that's what I'm referencing because I feel like that's gonna happen to us. I feel like at least for the AAA section, which I honestly hope flounders and falls apart and collapses because the AAA sector of gaming has it became over bloated with the whole they pay more for advertising than the actual game. And that's why we had those years where you had those like game awards or game shows or like EA, not EA, I forget the name of it, but we used to go, like, people used to watch to see all the new games that were coming out.
E3?
E3? Yeah, E3. Yeah, we had that whole era where they just paid more for advertising than the actual game. So we had these amazing videos and advertising where the game looked flawless. It looked beautiful.
Yep.
And then when the actual game come out, it looked like shit.
It was just a CG trailer. It was a CG trailer.
And
it wasn't actually the game.
Exactly. Now that's why they have to have that little thing that says not actual in-game video.
Yeah, not at in-game footage, or it's in-engine footage, which is
in-engine footage. Yeah,
in-engine footage. So they're just making a cutscene in the game that could never exist.
Yeah, and now it looks like AAA is going into the era where we're just trying to make more revenue in every way, shape, or form. In this case, I guess adding more ads. This is why I was going off about saying that AAA companies. I honestly feel like they need to be sunset. It's time for them to go.
I agree, Alchem, but they're not in the realistic sense. They're not going to. They're not going to. But the thing that I think is happening to the AAA industry, and I mean, we end up talking about this every week because it's just something that's you can't get
it affects me as
a
gamer.
In the gaming world, you can't get away from it. And it's just like what happened is it's very sad because everything must go up. And it can't just go up a little bit. You know what I mean? It must go up significantly. And with the pandemic, like the pandemic boost finally gone, like completely gone. Now, how on earth are you going to increase the revenue up when not everyone is stuck inside?
Yeah. All the gamers, hey, not everyone was a gamer during the pandemic. Some of them became gamers because they had nowhere else to go.
I mean,
now that they have places to go, they go back to their lives.
Yeah, my mom bought a Switch and played Animal Crossing and bought Minecraft and stuff like that. And like, she still plays those every now and then, obviously. But like, those people, the majority of those people are no longer playing those games. My mom's slightly different because she's in a house full of nerds. And so she enjoys that type of stuff. So, it's different for her, but like the majority of people are never touching video games again, probably. Like I would say arguably the 50% of the people who decided to play video games during the pandemic are never going to play video games ever again. Because they deem it as something as a waste of time.
Yeah.
Which to be fair, in my personal sense, I completely disagree with. But I also consider generally watching shows a waste of time. And to be fair, I enjoyed the Follow shows, and I don't think that was a waste of time. So it's more of a personal opinion.
I feel like I feel like that actually started to open up the whole door of let's start turning games into not just games, but let's give it into storytelling. And I mean,
being a waste of time.
I mean, we've had that before, though, with like games turned into movies, and a lot of them flopped in the past. But now they're starting to thrive. They're starting to do well.
I mean, that's the whole thing of like the walking simulator, right? The walking simulator genre was like notorious for that.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I still really enjoyed the story of Firewatch, and that was a walking simulator.
Actually, me too. I did enjoy that one as well.
Yeah. I enjoyed that, but like it's one of those things where like, I understand. It's where I'm not trying to be, I get where these AAA companies are coming from. Everything must go up. I understand capitalism. I get it. But I just don't understand why they can't see what like you and I have said of like, there's so much money to be had in other ways that would make everyone happy. And when your players are happy, they're more willing to spend money. Like it's been proven over and over again. When you have a happy, content player base, like they spend more money. They just buy more things. Blizzard had such a huge good reputation for so long that when Overwatch, the only new things was cosmetic loot boxes that people could buy, people bought them in droves because Blizzard had such goodwill and such good player content.
I'm not gonna lie, I bought the loot boxes back then too.
During the first year of Overwatch, I bought every set of loot boxes, basically.
I enjoyed because I like the characters. I
liked
like
it.
playing the ones I enjoyed. There was always at least more than one character I liked playing as.
Yep.
And so I like to have more representation for my character by having more outfits, more victory things, everything. It was fun. Like, eventually it waned off because, you can only thrive off of that for so long. And then eventually you started wondering, hey, what's next? Are we getting more? Are we getting anything cool? What happened to that story?
Yeah.
And yeah,
I mean, that's just I mean, we could have an entirely separate, we could make an entirely separate podcast of why you and I hate Overwatch 2 so much. I think my hatred is probably,
I still like it, but at the same time,
I was about to say, I think my hatred of it is much more than yours, but like your like it's both of a, I would say we're both very disappointed with it, and mine borderlines onto hatred of where I don't even play Overwatch 2 anymore. Like, honestly, I don't think anything could bring me back. Like, let me put, actually, you know what proved to me that I was not willing anymore, Alchem? The new Mercy skins are awesome. And I didn't reinstall it to play them. Oh, excuse me. I didn't install the game to try to get those skins.
And you're a Mercy main. Oh my god.
I have every Mercy item in the game.
I can't believe it. They couldn't win you back.
They didn't win me back with the Mercy stuff. So like, I was like, when I realized that I didn't even care about the Mercy cosmetics anymore, I was like, oh, I actually don't care about this game anymore.
Wow. Jelly's changed.
It's gone, man. I'm reformed.
I can't believe it. Feels bad, man.
Sorry, I need to blow my nose 1 second.
You're fine. You're fine. Jelly, to take a moment, let's thank our sponsors, Kleenex, for making sure that Jelly's nose is clean and protecting it. And thanks, Kleenex, for. I'm kidding. We take all ads. We take all.
Yeah, speaking of ads, transitions into ads. Speaking of ads, that was we should have done that, Alchem. That was such a great segue into an ad. If only we could have fake ads. I should start writing fake ads just for the heck of it.
Yeah, just fake ads.
I need to make up products to advertise, and eventually we'll replace them with actual advertisements. But one thing, speaking of Overwatch, I wasn't sure if I was going to bring this up or not. Have you seen Marvel Rivals?
Yeah, you're talking about the Overwatch of Marvel.
Yes.
Yes.
Have you seen the gameplay? Like, there's been a closed alpha testing and stuff.
Yeah, which I tried to get into, but because I am a nobody, they were like, nah, we don't know you.
I didn't even know you could sign up.
Mostly I'm just unlucky.
I mean, you might be lucky that you didn't get it, because did you see?
What did I miss?
You don't know, Alchem. You don't know. I can't. Okay.
What happened?
So, I am going to send you something on Discord because I want you to read this with me. Because I know what it is, but I want you to read this. So this is something that they made only some creators. When they got the code, they had to sign a contract, right? Which, by the way, just to say, like, even though I think you've gotten free codes before. I haven't really gotten any codes yet. But when you get a free code from a game developer or like a beta code, an alpha code, an early access code, there's never a contract. Like, you never sign something generally.
There's no. There isn't.
So for Marvel Rivals, there are some things you could be aware of, but it's never usually. It's usually like, hey guys, don't if it's early access, say this is early access. Don't break any non-disclosure stuff. Don't spoil stuff. It's all pretty normal stuff and pretty much stuff that would be pretty reasonable to anyone. So, first of all, during this, they had to send made a lot of creators sign a contract, which a lot of people didn't read. And then people started looking at the contract, and this is what is in the contract. No, it is a non-disparagement agreement, but it's really bad. So I want you to read that out loud.
All right, let me go get my reading glasses out here. All right, let me. Oh, hold on.
The picture, not the tweet. The picture, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm opening it up right now to get to the picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
A live reaction of Alchem reading this.
So this is part of their little agreement when you're
this
trying
is
to
the
play.
This is the contract that people signed.
Line 2, 1. Non-disparagement. The content creator agrees not to make any public statements or engage in discussions that are detrimental to the reputation of the game. This includes, but is not limited to, A, making disparaging or satirical comments about any game-related material, such as game features, characters, or music. B, engaging in malicious comparisons with competitors or belittling the gameplay or differences of Marvel rivals or providing subjective negative reviews again. So they really just don't want any criticism.
They just straight up said no criticism.
This is like I understand you want to make sure they don't insult your game, but the bottom one is literally don't mention us about don't mention anything bad. Yeah.
Point B is also don't say Overwatch. They don't say Overwatch, but they basically say don't compare us to Overwatch. It's very subtle. It's subtle in the way of they're not saying it, but it's very blatant of saying don't compare us to Overwatch. And
providing subjective negative reviews of the game.
Or comparison with competitors. So
basically, there is a little line that some people can do. If they can prove that what they're saying is not subjective, then you can start disparaging it if you find some stuff that isn't subjective. Like if there's actual dog shit about the game itself. But I feel like that is a very shady practice.
So the person, the tweet that I sent you is A Siegel. I don't know if you know who he is.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm aware of Siegel.
And this has I don't know if you see it. This has 3.6 million views on Twitter. This exploded. And let me put this way, nice
to me clause.
This is also just another thing of the fact that Siegel tweeted is insane because he never tweets. Because whenever he tweets, it's a big deal. Because he is a very non-social media guy. He streams, makes content, and then basically is completely private in every other way. And the fact that he tweeted this was insane. And the fact that they're even signing a contract for a code and to begin with is a big deal. And the fact that not every content creator got this contract is even weirder. Because not everyone that got the game got this contract as well. So it's weird. It's just weird in every way.
The please be nice to me clause. They don't want you to talk bad about their game. They don't want you to mention anyone else. They just want you to say nice things.
Yeah. And
that's it.
Honestly.
And then they're gonna use you for advertising.
Yeah, and the biggest thing, what the funniest thing is, Alchem, in my opinion, the not comparing to competitors doesn't make sense to me at all. Because saying the obviously you can't use this in official advertisement. But if a person says, "Oh, have you played Marvel Rivals?" and someone says, "Nah, what? Not really. What is it?" and someone says, "Overwatch, but with Marvel characters," that's a good thing. Guys, guys, that's a good thing. I just want to tell you all the PR and all the marketing team at Marvel Rivals saying your game is Overwatch but with Marvel characters is a positive thing. And in fact, not only is it Overwatch, it's Overwatch 1, not Overwatch 2, because this game is 6v6. So the game that everyone wants back, that's your game. Why are you not trying to advertise that? Obviously you probably can't use the word Overwatch, but you can't stop creators stopping creators saying this game is like Overwatch 1 is just actually probably a bad thing, because you want especially the Overwatch content creators that have been begging for changes years and years and years on.
I'm just wondering, what do they expect us to do? Just describe what a goddamn hero shooter is again?
Yeah.
Say it's Overwatch,
and also Alchem, I think the best thing is that some of the characters are just straight up Overwatch characters. There is a guy. What's the guy? oh god, this is where all my Marvel knowledge, my lack of Marvel knowledge is.
Oh boy, time
is going
for
to be
Alchem
revealed.
to shine.
It's
time to shine.
it
Let's go.
starts with Star. I think it's Star-Lord, the guy with the pistols.
Yeah, Star-Lord. Yeah,
Star-Lord. He's basically Tracer. He's basically Tracer.
Yeah,
he's pretty much Tracer.
He has the time teleporting.
There's a guy. I think his name is Punisher.
The Punisher. Yes.
The Punisher. He's basically Soldier.
Okay.
He's basically Soldier 76, and like there's it's one of those things where it's like, guys, like, you don't need to. One of the most popular games this year, their tagline was Pokemon with guns. Like, guys, you don't like, and like Pal World was a huge hit, and arguably it doesn't even play like Pokemon at all. But this game literally plays like Overwatch. It literally is Overwatch with Marvel.
I still love that. So talk bad about us, please. Don't.
Yeah, it's just such a dumb. It's like these things. Like, it's pretty much the worst thing is though, Alchem. The worst thing is that the game isn't bad, but now no one trusts no one trusts any content creator if they say anything good about the game.
It's because basically they showed their asses by basically saying, please, you're going to hurt our fifis if you talk bad about us. Please, our corporate overlords don't like it. Make sure you talk good about it. No, fuck off.
Yeah, and
you're
worst.
judged by the merit of the game itself. If your game is shit, don't be surprised that people are going to say it's shit.
But I mean, also
contract.
Not only that, Alchem, but I also see it as not like lack of trust. Or not lack of trust, it's lack of
faith.
That's what I was trying to say, lack of faith, because like I've watched a ton of gameplay of this. Alchem, I don't know how much you've watched.
Yeah, watch a bit. It looks
the game looks great. It looks fun. Yeah. It looks like Overwatch 1, but with Marvel characters and without Blizzard attached to it. To be fair, it does have NetEase attached to it, which is another problem that like some people are cautious about. But NetEase is an entirely different thing, and like I don't know, like it's one of those things where it's
you had a really great thing set up. You have a gameplay. The gameplay of Overwatch was just solid. It's very solid. Just people got bored of Overwatch because they never changed it up. They never added more.
They stopped playing. They stopped updating the game.
Yeah, they stopped updating the game, and they promised stuff that they never delivered, which ended up just burying them after. That was like the last nail in the coffin for most of it. I mean, people still play it, still enjoy it because it is still a solid game with solid gameplay.
Yep.
Now you're gonna have the same style gameplay, which again, solid.
Which people have been reminiscing about because it's 6v6.
And you're adding well-established, well-recognized characters from an entire universal franchise or a franchised universe where people recognize all of these heroes.
Yep.
This is gold. This is fine.
This is actually
your goddamn product, and now you're doing this. You're basically just shoving your foot in your mouth, and now everyone's gonna think, "Are you guys sure about this? Do you guys really think this is good? Maybe not. If you're gonna be like this." And
also it's like the content makes itself, because you know what else this game, like if this game, Alchem, okay, I'm gonna say something. I just want you to see the dollar signs that you can just see about this game. Free to play skins, cosmetics. Like I think I just made $1 billion just by saying that, like like I just made $1 billion.
Yeah, you really did.
Like free to play skin, cosmetics, and you have like what, 50 plus years of comic book lore and skins of all of these characters, and none of it has to be plot
some of the old skins.
Like none of this has to be plot relevant, because the game is multiplayer only.
Shit.
There's so much content.
They literally have so many Spider-Man outfits, so many Iron Man outfits.
Well, it's not even just that. It's not even just that, Alchem. Yeah. Also, another big thing is all the different Spider-Mans can be different characters.
Exactly.
All the different Iron Mans can be different characters. Like, and you don't even need to pay the expensive, like, Marvel MCU voice actors because you could say no, it's the comic book versions of these characters.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like,
I mean, for goodness sakes, you have that one little caveat of people understand Elseworlds, so maybe it's not the the Marvel Cinematic Universe version.
yeah,
it's some other version.
just
But
make its own version. Make it own version.
Exactly.
Like it literally prints money.
Yeah.
And if this game is not free to play, that's a mistake. Also, by the way, Alchem, this is a mobile and PC game.
You want to know what's hilarious? They literally can do what the Fortnite strategy. Just make it free to play. Add skins through a battle pass, or that you can just purchase it if you want to.
Yep.
And you have
a rotating shop with the battle pass. $1 billion.
Exactly. Yeah. There you go. That's it. They just keep going.
I'll say 3 things: rotating shop, battle pass, and a subscription service that gives you currency and perks. There you go. You've just made $1 billion a year. You just
made billions of dollars.
You've made it $1 billion a
within year one.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, that's a year. I'm not saying $1 billion overall. I'm saying $1 billion yearly.
No. That's what I was saying. Year one, they made $1 billion, and then they could just go on from there, and they could just ride on the whole multi-skin things for years to come, and then later, if they wish to, or if they see that the revenue,
and they just keep adding it on. It's also being made on the Unreal Engine 5 engine. I'm pretty sure it's Unreal 5, Alchem. So the engine.
Oh my god!
So the engine is like it's future proof. It's future proof. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember if it's honestly. Actually, wait. Let me just quickly check. I'm going to go to their website. Game if didn't get just copyright strike there because the Marvel, the Marvel Rivals website has music playing. Yeah. 1 second. Let me just. No, I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about me. I'm the one that's uploading this on YouTube. Okay, no one can hear you right now. I'm sorry, Alchem, because I muted my desktop audio because I can't turn off this stupid thing. Okay, there we go. Okay, I found the Steam page. All right, okay, you can be now once again heard.
Yeah, hi, what's up, everyone?
Sorry.
Oh man.
All right. I don't know what engine it's being made on. Let me just search it.
I mean, in either case, if it's 4, that's still pretty good because 4 is standard the test of time. If it's 5, then you're future-proofing your game for years to come. And honestly, from what I'm seeing and what I at least expect, I mean, granted, I'm not the one behind the wheels. They're a business and they have to appeal to certain things, so they may make dumb decisions or really smart ones. This is just a hurdle. This is just a small hiccup, and most of the player base and most of the people who are going to play this or see this when it comes out is still going to get it.
It is on it's Unreal Engine 5. Also, I just want to say, Alchem, it is also third person, so you're always looking at your character. So the skins even have more of an impact because you always see your
skins constantly. Yep.
And the playable heroes right now is Spider-Man, Hulk, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Loki, Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, Groot, Mantis, Namor,
Namor. Cool.
Penny Parker, Magic, Luna Snow, Storm, Magneto, the Punisher, Scarlet Witch, and Hela. And also there's 2 locations, so 2 maps, and that's Asgard and Tokyo. Tokyo of 2099. Okay. And apparently the plot has already been the plot of the game, and it's basically what we said. The story follows a hostile meeting between Doctor Doom and his heroic 2099 counterpart. This causes multiple universes to merge in the time stream entanglement, which causes new worlds to be created. This causes heroes and villains across the multiverse to fight one another with the main goal of defeating both Doctor Doom's variants. One claims victory over the new worlds. So basically, one side is Doctor Doom, the other side is different Doctor Doom, or whatever his name is.
Light.
Yeah, and the reason why the heroes and villains are on the same team, because it's their version of Doctor Doom.
You know what? I can even see that because even though it's a good Doctor Doom, he would still probably want to take over the world in order to lead it into a prosperous future.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
by his rule.
And it's also
that's what he wants to do anyway.
The PC release is also going to be Steam and Epic, so like they're not even. Yeah. Oh wait.
They know what they're doing.
The game will be okay. Wikipedia says the game's going to be free to play. So apparently they might have already said that it's going to be free to play.
So yeah, they have they have set everything in motion to make this actually an incredible game. This is just a hiccup. This is now just a hiccup. They just need to. This is
a very unnecessary hiccup that they caused.
Yeah, exactly. It's just bad PR.
They've also apologized apparently. They haven't apologized publicly though. They've apparently apologized in the private Discord server they have. I have some insider knowledge because I watched a news show and one of the guys said,
"You want to know why? It's not out there yet." It's not everyone knows.
Yeah, not everyone knows. I mean, to be fair, Siegel tweeted it about, and I'm going to say this, only 3.9 million people saw that. That's not a lot of people. In the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot of people. So, yeah.
They know damn well that it's not a big issue. It's not that many people have noticed, so they only need to apologize to the private sector who at least know about it.
Yeah.
And they'd rather keep it out of the limelight. So out of sight, out of mind kind of thing.
Yeah.
As long as the people who are affected are apologized to or at least feel vindicated, then that's it. They're done.
Yeah. And this game is going to be released on Windows and Mac. And I'm pretty sure there's a mobile version being made as well.
Very nice.
Also, I'm pretty sure there's 19 players. There's 19 heroes available. They've already data mined. There's been already huge data mines, and there's like 8 more lined up. So there's already a content lined up. Like this game is gonna be crazy. Honestly, I'm probably gonna play it. I'm gonna try.
I'm definitely gonna play it.
The only thing they gotta learn is apparently right now in quick play it's old school Overwatch 1. No roll lock, no anything like that. So you can pick it whatever you want. And apparently in ranked it's roll locked 2-2-2, which makes sense. I think that's a good idea. Cause in quick play, I think free for all. Let people go crazy. Maybe
I don't see my boy Deadpool in there, I'm mad. Or Taskmaster. If I don't see Taskmaster in there,
honestly, I don't even know most Marvel people. So look, if they add someone that's like Mercy, I'm gonna play. Right now, I think right now there's like the roles are basically tank, support, DPS. They don't call them that though.
Because they want to stay far away from Overwatch.
Yeah.
So they're gonna rename everything. But damn,
so yeah,
all right then.
It's gonna be interesting. I hope unfortunately, I think the game is releasing in 2025. Like, I don't think the game is anywhere close to being out, which is interesting because at least the game, in my opinion, looks pretty close to done. But like, there's no, like, let me put it this way: even with this closed alpha, there's no release date at all. Not even close. They not even even been close to mentioning a release date. So everyone's saying this can't be. And they called it a closed alpha testing. So like everyone's saying at best 2025. So next year, most likely. Which gives them a lot of time for Overwatch to keep screwing up somehow, so more people will just be ready to abandon the game at a moment's notice.
Yeah, you're right. They'll probably get screwed up later.
Okay.
I was still so shocked about what happened. So
you were so shocked that you lagged horribly.
Yeah, I just became JPEG moment for that moment. I was like, no.
Oh god.
And yeah, now I'm back. See?
Yeah,
I'm
there
back,
you go.
see?
There you go.
I've learned to control my abilities.
But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. It's yeah, it's just weird.
It's a cool game to look forward to. someone there did not have faith that people would judge it fairly, or
it is
give it, like, a
also
lot of
there.
credit.
There is
They're
a
also-
there is a small caveat with that with specifically the contract and stuff like that, or just like communication in general. It is a Chinese company, so at least from what I heard, a lot of people saying like contracts like that are sent out in the Chinese in like the Chinese creators and stuff like that on the mobile game.
Oh,
and some people saying maybe they accidentally sent them to the Western audience, and also said that it is very the NetEase team doesn't speak English. They speak English, but like it's their second language. They're a Chinese company, so there's someone saying that it could be a mistranslation. That is a little copium, I'll admit, but I mean you can't. You do have to say both sides. It could be mistranslation. There could be some misunderstood translations from Chinese to English. I don't think so. I think they just got caught with their pants down and they forgot that it's a Western audience.
Yeah,
but you do have to say it is a Chinese company.
It's cap.
Yeah, it's a little copium, but you do have to say it because it could be true. That's what they're going to say at least. That's definitely going to be their excuse. Whenever if they ever publicly acknowledge it, that's going to be their excuse.
Yeah, that definitely will be. But yeah, no, it's just I just feel like they just slipped up. They're trying to save face and
Well, they haven't said anything publicly. They're not trying to save face. Yeah. It's just some people saying, to be fair to them,
the small group that noticed their flop.
Yeah, but
I still feel like it's gonna do well.
Oh no, this game is going to do very well. I think the real question is it going to do well enough for Overwatch to like finally get their butt kicked and have real competition? Because Overwatch still even with Overwatch 2's craziness, and they lost a lot of players and stuff like that. Yeah. Especially relatively recently, because even more stuff has happened. Like people just don't like the balance right now. At least like the last week that I check. Every once in a while I'll check back on it. Just because I'm interested. And I like some of the content creators, and I feel bad because I'm like, I'll still watch their content. I'll never play this game again, but I'll definitely watch their content. I'll be a viewer for them. I'll give them mine? Yeah. Oh. I mean, I don't watch you for the gameplay, so that's fine.
That hesitation scared me though.
I've never watched you for the gameplay, Alchem. Watching you play Overwatch makes me sad because I see all the controller movements.
And yet I still top frag. I don't know what you're on about.
Yeah, but aim doesn't matter in Overwatch.
Okay, you know what? Shut up.
You also play the characters that don't require aim, to be fair, so it's fine.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
But yeah, I think I'm at the point where like I kind of want to play it, but
yeah, same here.
We're very far. We're probably a year away from when anyone can play it, unless you and I can get in the cool kids club. I don't think we're going to be able to play it until it launches, and I doubt we're going to be a part of the cool kids club for this game.
That's right, Chad. If you want us to be in the cool kids club, advertise. Let us know. There's some dumb tanuki and pretty awesome slime. They talk about random stuff, but it's pretty all right. It's pretty fun. They get way into it too. They're very like down. They're downcasting when it comes to like about like the future of gaming and stuff, but it's pretty all right. They're pretty good. They're based.
A little doomsday, but I mean, sometimes we have positivity like today.
They're based. They're based.
Sometimes we can be based.
Yes.
All right, Alchem. Any final words for all of the topics? We bounce around today. I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm gonna title this, but I'll figure it out. We talked. Any final statements on all the topics? Not all of them, obviously. We had a lot of topics. So
looking forward to that. I am looking forward to that game. I am curious. I actually about the whole like advertising in the future of gaming and stuff. I'm curious. I'm pretty sure it is going to be EA. Like the science point.
Of course it's EA. Of course it's EA.
I'm curious. who is going to be the idiot? Who's going to let their product, and by that I mean who's going to let their game be the first game to have like in-game ads?
Oh god, I just thought of something. I don't want to say it because it's going to cause a conversation. I'll have to save it for next week. I'll save it for next Sunday.
All right.
I'll save it for Sunday.
Okay.
We'll put a pin on it.
All right. I'm just curious.
I am curious too.
Because it's not a matter of if, it's only when. Because it just
looks
like that's where the AAA is going for.
Do you have Amazon Prime, Malcolm?
Yes, I do.
You gotta watch the TV. You gotta watch the Fallout TV show, so you and I can talk about more spoiler stuff. We can make a spoiler warning and everything.
Okay.
And we can have a sitting down with me and not like I'm not saying you have to do it right now or like anytime soon, but when you do watch it, you gotta let me know and we can talk about it. We'll do a spoiler thing. I'll make a spoiler warning thing. And then we can talk about it more in depth, because I do want to talk about more in depth, but like I said, I don't want to spoil it too much for people that care, and I don't want to spoil it for you. So,
gotcha. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add to this?
No. You could do your shout outs and then I'll do mine.
Why, hello everyone. I am one of your hosts for the Two Buds One podcast. My name is Alchem. I am a Tanuki-based VTuber who just loves playing a bunch of different games. And on usually on Sunday. Sorry about these past 2 weeks. Something's been happening. A little weird. We usually do our podcast where we talk about a wide variety of things. As for me individually, like I said, Tanuki VTuber, gaming usually on Twitch. I try to stream as well on YouTube, but sometimes I forget. But I'm also trying to post more on Twitter, where I'm posting my model making updates. In fact, I'm going to try to be more active on TikTok, although TikTok is the future of TikTok looks very, very iffy in the next year.
Well, for you, not for me.
You heard what's going to happen to TikTok in a year, right?
Yeah, I know but I'm not in that area.
Oh yeah, you're not. Okay. Oh yeah, you don't have. Oh my god, I forgot Canadian. The powers.
Yeah, I'm not there. I mean, to be fair, generally what happens in the US also affects Canada, to be fair.
Yeah, whether or not that's going to happen, I don't know.
We'll see.
But yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about that
I'll also
someday.
be posting shorts. I'll be posting more game stuff. I had a very fun, very crazy 24-hour stream this past weekend, which I'm glad a lot of you guys joined in. I owe you guys a bunch for that. And yeah, you can catch me on those platforms. And for those that are watching that are part of the normal streams, thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoy these podcasts, and hope to surprise you with more stuff in the future.
Yeah,
take it away, Dylan.
Yeah, thank you all for watching. I just realized that I never said the episode number of this, so thank you for watching episode 14 of Two Buds One Podcast. Yeah, my name is the Techno Jelly. I am a VTuber slime. I do things on YouTube at the Techno Jelly, mostly Minecraft, Valorant, and Vampire Survivors. Funny enough, those are the 3 games that I mostly upload. And I'm also on Twitch and Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the things. I am sorry about. I promise. I know I say it every week. Shorts on this podcast will happen at some point. I am just, I don't know. It'll happen at some point. And don't worry, for certain viewers, specifically Jesus, the parasocial mom thing is still going to happen. That short will become a thing. They ask about it almost every time, or mention it.
Don't you fucking dare. No.
Well, to be fair, I still will be getting Alchem's approval when I do them, so I don't see him saying no to it. I don't see him saying no to any of them. It's not like I'm not gonna like be blasting him or anything. Well, I mean, I guess I am technically gonna be blasting. Anyway, if you would like to hear my ramblings before the stream or before the, I'm gonna restart that sentence. If you'd like to support the podcast directly, I have a Patreon account where I upload the full unedited with before and after sections of the podcast. If you'd like to support directly, it is uploaded on there. You can support for any amount of money. Will give you access to those. It's not expensive. It's not $20. It's any amount of money on the Patreon. I think it's a minimum $1, but still. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you again on the next we will see you again for the next podcast episode. Goodbye.
Later, guys.